Alright, what's up Jolly Rogers and Weight Watchers, welcome back to the Sammy Whammy YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, I'm a completely uncreative asshole, so I decided to ask around for video ideas. And after receiving a bunch of no's, fuck yous, and come up with an idea yourselves, I finally got a really cool idea to make a video about the worst people in society. So sit back, relax, like, subscribe, and do a bunch of other generic shit as I dive into the video. Now being a cold-blooded Canadian, it's damn near impossible to channel my inner anger, but after dicking around for a few hours and finally deciding to record at 4:45 p.m. I came up with a few ideas. Now I just want to get it out of the way. I fucking hate people who are all about preaching morals. A lot of these people want to make the world a better place, but they just end up looking like a bunch of jackasses who care about the dumbest shit. Like, I don't want to get political or anything, but the first thing I think of is radicals. Radical anything, radical political parties, radical feminists, radical protesters. You guys are fucking retarded and none of your shit's gonna do anything. A lot of you might say you're making the world a better place, but in reality you're making it worse to live in. Hell, the world would be a fucking utopia if we sent them all to space and let those flying fuckonauts and astro bastards battle it out up there. Shit, none of them are even smart enough to operate a spaceship anyway. Now, I'm a fair person. I'm not gonna bitch about you just because you believe something that I don't agree with. And you'd be surprised about some of the things I do believe in. But don't smoke on that radical reefer and round up a bunch of other moral marauders and accidental births to crowd the streets. Hell, I'm willing to bet you fucking cheated the sperm race, bitch. The next time you go out and do one of your goofy ass radical demonstrations, I hope you think about that potential Harvard graduate you illegally beat to your fucking mom's egg. You're like Barry Bonds roid raging in baseball. Or you're like those non-handicapped Spanish basketball players who infiltrated the Paralympics. In short, radical figures and demonstrators have about as much logic as a character from Idiocracy. Or a lobotomite from Fallout New Vegas. In the wise words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, go home and rethink your life. Don't think I'm just talking about radicals though. So many of them expect us to do what they want us to do and they don't know that we have our own agenda as well. I wish they could acknowledge that instead of having their heads so far up their ass you'd think they were giving birth. In conclusion, shut the fuck up. Now, I don't even know how to segue into the next point. It's so fucking wildly different than talking about a bunch of political motherfuckers, so I'm just gonna say it. I absolutely hate slow people. Hey, put down your fucking torches and pitchforks. I'm not talking about autists. Talk about people who are actually, like, physically slow. Like that fat bitch in the hallway who's blocking your path, constantly testing your patience. Or that driver in front of you who's too fucking dumb to realize they can go faster than the speed they're going. Whether they're a pussy teenage driver's ed student or a really fucking old grandma who can't read shit. And it pisses me off because I don't want to tell them, oh, get your fat ass out of the way. I'm trying to actually, like, get places quickly here. Fat bitch will keep hobbling really slowly over to her destination. Or the grandma in her tiny ass sedan won't go any faster despite how many times you honk your horn. Think about other people, bro. I don't have time to be behind your stupid ass. No, I'm not that impatient of a person, but there is a threshold that they can cross that'll piss me off. That's why I like Europe so much. People actually, like, walk at decent speeds there. It's really satisfying. They don't have fat bitches blocking your path. But sadly, in Europe, there's a lot of small villages that have tiny-ass roads with a bunch of cars on them, and that's just something out of my control, and I can accept that. The issue arises when the motherfucker in front of you knows that they are in control of how fast they go, but they still go slow. Do you have a fucking brain? Were you dropping down the stairs when you were a fucking infant? Fuck you! One day they'll learn though. Sometimes I see people on the news get their cars absolutely blasted in the back because the person behind them was so fucking impatient. I'm not that much of a dickhead. I have common sense. Unlike a bunch of other retards out there, I actually have self-control. The worst thing that'll happen is I'll lose my temper. I won't pull a piece on you or anything. I don't even have a gun, so don't worry about me. This reminds me of the time I was going to a neighboring town to meet up with one of my friends and there was some slow bitch in front of me for like 10 minutes straight and it pissed me off. And in a one-way road, I just pulled into the left lane and right ahead of her and just fucking blasted forward. This particular driver was one of those old-ass ladies driving a tiny car as fast as her metabolism. The moral of the story? Be aware of the people around you. Now, because I feel like it, the next topic's kind of going to be kind of an obvious thing, like the one in the beginning. Who the fuck was that? You hear that fucking car in the background? My house has some fucking acreage on it, so I'm surprised I could hear that car so well from the street. You know what? Fuck my next point. I'm gonna talk about this real quick. Why the fuck do people, like, rev up their engines so fucking loud or, like, speed run? This is, like, the opposite of my last point. People are too fast sometimes. Their engines are loud as fuck and you can hear them from a fucking mile away. Generally, this comes from car people. I don't hate car people. They're pretty cool for liking cars so much. It's just their interest. But sometimes they're just way too addicted to how loud their engine could go, so they just fucking, like, drift around. They they leave their tire marks all over everything. It's just annoying. One time I was in America and I was in a ghetto part of town and I saw a parking lot. There was some dude drifting around some souped up Dodge Charger with some big ass wheels, and he just left a smoke cloud so big and so thick you couldn't see what was inside of it. Also, sometimes people underestimate how loud tire screeches can be. Call me a coward bitch all you want, but sometimes I've actually been jump scared by how loud some tire screeches can be. Sometimes after stopping at an intersection, people fucking speed boost ahead like they're using a mushroom in Mario Kart, and you'll hear their tires so fucking loudly they'll be like 10-foot long tire tracks on the road. The moral of the story? Your dick isn't getting any bigger the louder you make your car. No way, your Ferrari Super Juicer has 1 gazillion horsepower? No way. So before I was interrupted by that loud ass car earlier, I'm just gonna talk about another pretty obvious, pretty cliche thing a lot of people like to bitch about. So I'm just gonna speed run this point real quick. Neopronouns. Why do they exist? A lot of fat whales and anorexic art kids will give themselves neopronouns because they think they're more valid when they do so. One day people are gonna look at my backlog and they're gonna cancel me for this. Sammy Whammy goes trending on Twitter. Bunch of 15-year-old commentary YouTubers are gonna be milking my name in their titles. If only I got that much fame. Keep it up, guys, subscribing and shit, because I want to get big one day. But anyway, neopronouns are some of the lamest shit ever. First of all, just giving yourself a bunch of goofy ass pronouns just a big ass inconvenience to me. I'd rather call you what I think you are rather than add to my big ass vocabulary of lingo that I have to call a bunch of people like you. Bitch, I ain't no Oxford dictionary. I call people by he or she. Them's pushing it a little bit. They literally fucking updated like English grammar because of this. Now them's become a singular pronoun and now it just convolutes everything. They're getting ready. Wait, 1 person, 2 people, 5 people? Does this motherfucker have DID or some shit? Like, is it 1 person, or is it like, they're 1 person? Who the fuck is this, Voltron? But let's get into the actual neopronouns, words people make up and expect you to take them seriously for it. Like they'll make their pronouns like Zeezer or Fair or some shit. I've literally never heard anyone refer to someone by those.
Be nice to Fair. Faye is very sensitive.
Sounds like fucking another language. It's like Newspeak from 1984. Straight up, you got my ass double thinking trying to understand this shit. If you get that reference, respect. I feel like no one reads books these days. Or unless you had to read it in school or some shit. Nah, but people make their pronouns like some bionicle names or some stupid crap like that. My pronouns are supercalifragilisticexpialidocious / Geschwindigkeitsbegrenzung. You will now refer to me by these.
You have no choice!
Like 1984 again, another 1984 reference. It's like that big ass screen of the dude talking, like, you will refer to me by these goofy ass pronouns, and then everyone's staring at it. But unlike 1984, no one gives a shit. Or no, like at least no one pays attention. There, I've said my piece about neopronouns. Key takeaway from this, don't call yourself some goofy ass pronouns because no one's gonna use them. Because they're genuinely such a fucking inconvenience to use. If I think you're a girl, I'm calling you she. If I think you're a guy, I'm calling you he. It's just the easiest way for me. I'm not like going through all this effort to call you something else.
It's just words. It's so easy to adapt.
No, because sometimes, like, when you make yourself, like, those neopronouns, like, Fair, for example, like, you're genuinely challenging my grammar. How the fuck do I incorporate those stupid words into a fucking sentence? Motherfucker got my brain firing on all cylinders trying to figure that out. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up about neopronouns. Now, this next point's something that I mentioned in the Stuff I Hate video, aka my most popular video. Again, thank you guys for that. In that video, I mentioned objective reviewers and how fucking dumb they are. Like, expecting, like, oh yeah, you have to like this because I like this, or like, they're like, oh yeah, this is objectively the best. Like, I also mentioned, like, the convoluted, like, aspects of fucking experimental music and what you should think of them and all that. I just think it's really complicated. And if you think that's annoying, film reviewers are even worse. Genuinely, movies are some of the most subjective shit of all time. It's a lot easier to get a lot of people to like a certain record, but movie-wise, it just gets so fucking gray. Yet they'll still treat movies like they're objectively good or objectively bad. Like, I've seen people reviewing others like Letterboxd list or whatever. If you don't know what Letterboxd is, it's like a website where people rate movies and make their, like, favorite movie lists and stuff like that. Some people say, like, blockbuster popcorn type Hollywood movies are very, like, not good just because they're made to be action films and shit like that. Because their pretentious asses say, oh yeah, it has to be a very artsy, very fancy film to be something that I like.
What, you like Empire Strikes Back? Fuck that! Eraserhead is the greatest film of all time.
I do really like Eraserhead. I feel like the issue is though is that so many people are like, oh yeah, it's gotta be all fancy artsy. You've gotta like trying to make something like super like mind bending and some shit. Treating the average Joe like they can't enjoy fucking movie.
You really like that movie because it's super entertaining? Fuck that. It's gotta have fancy cinematography, the color grading's gotta be crazy, it's gotta have like the most captivating soundtrack of all time.
Fuck people who speak like that. Unironically, one of my favorite movies of all time is fucking Good Burger, the Nickelodeon movie. It's so genuinely entertaining and I get a laugh out of it every single fucking time I watch it. Same with Spaceballs. My friends and I have been quoting that movie ever since we were fucking 9 years old. But film nerds will shut me down.
It's not well made!
You know, like, movies were invented to, like, be enjoyed, right? Like, their main purpose is to entertain, not make your brain think. Like, just what I said earlier, they treat it like people can't have fun watching them anymore. Like, they have to, like, have a really big experience that makes them think, makes their minds blown. No way, the cinematography's crazy. Like, dude, shut up. Like, Good Burger and Spaceballs, like, their plots are absolutely jumbled. They're so goofy. But like that's what makes them good movies. Same with music. Like music's supposed to be enjoyed. You're not supposed to have the crazy experience. Like a lot of people rate music that's just people having fun, people with good vibes really low just because like, oh, it isn't a masterpiece, you know? It is like a debate topic, a very big like debate starter. So I don't want to get too much into it. Like obviously there's like a line at which like, oh yeah, a movie is bad, or like a record is bad, or like obviously it isn't a masterpiece because they're just having fun. They're not trying to make a masterpiece. But like I think you know what I mean. Like sometimes a lot of very like commercial blockbuster type stuff like gets really shat on just because people are always looking for super like very very highly skilled shit when like movies are literally meant for you to just be entertained, have a good time watching them. So they just like discount all like the Empire Strikes Backs and stuff like that. Plus there's some of the most pretentious assholes of all time. Fuck you guys, movie reviewers. Well, I've been recording this video for a long ass time, so I'm probably gonna end it around here. In all seriousness, I'm trying to get my watch time a little bit up, and when people see like 20-30 minute long videos, it just puts them off like crazy, so I apologize to that if you may have been like, oh fuck that video, I'm not watching that because it's really long. I really apologize. Sometimes I just like talking about stuff. I don't even talk very much outside of videos or anything. I'm not a big fan of speaking. That's why my voice dies so easily. Like I can talk for like 10-15 minutes straight, but after that, like my voice is fucking dead. But anyway, that's the video. Treat this video like a Stuff I Hate Part 2 video, except this is more like me talking about people specifically rather than like, you know, like just stuff. That original video did really well and a lot of people liked it, so I just thought you guys deserved another one. So when I got suggested to make this video, like I was really excited. Also, if you haven't noticed, like a fucking retard, like I tried putting my personality into this a lot more. So if you enjoy my personality, like you can tell me, then I'll try to make my videos a lot more personal. Also, this is Cry of Fear gameplay, hope you enjoy it. I know last video I mentioned like, oh yeah, I'd use Cry of Fear gameplay, but the game's too dark, I want your feedback. I got 0 feedback, so I just said, fuck you guys, I'm using it since I already have it. So yeah, so if the video got too dark and you didn't like it, shut up. Now, I'm kind of running out of like cool horror games to play. Like I do have System Shock, but like I already used that for the Shrooms video, but like since I used all that blue shit video for 3 videos straight, like, I don't know, I might play System Shock again. But other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. I put a little bit of work in this. I took a break in the middle because someone wanted to call me. Well, I wanted to call someone to show them the video just because I kind of like this video a lot. So I hope you guys like it too. So it's 7:22, so technically if I would have been editing non-stop, it would have been like 2.5 hours. But like, I'd say this is more like an hour and 15 minutes of me recording, which is still long, but like, I don't know. I feel bad about it. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. I'll try to come up with other videos and find some other horror games to play, just because it's Halloween and I kind of want to keep up with the scary games for a scary time of year. Anyway, like, subscribe, and shit like that. Also, thank you guys a lot for 100 subscribers. It's honestly a lot of people. Like, this is generic as fuck, but like imagine 100 people in one room. That's still a lot. It's not like a million people in one room or anything, because they can't even fit in one room, but 100 people is still a lot. Let's get to 200. Get your family, get your friends, get everyone you know to get on this channel. Subscribe, make us the biggest storytime channel there has ever been. Oh, fuck it. That's not possible. But subscribe. I want to get to 200 one day, like soon. If I want to get to 200 in like 3 days, just like I got to 100, because it's honestly really exhilarating to see this much growth. Anyways, I need to shut the fuck up, so like, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. This has been Sammy Whammy. Peace.